we must have all of the whiskey. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, so welcome to another episode of Stop Being So Stupid, where we gleefully ridicule those who, in the words of Bender, would be better off kindly shutting their noise holes. Hence why we get comments like this from yesterday's video on just some guy owning himself with his terrible Starship Troopers take, and yes, I did use the pin of shame. Dude, I know content is hard to find or come by. You know it isn't, especially not now. Holy smokes, I have so much content right now, I don't even know where to begin, really. I literally just yesterday put up a community post saying I have so much of it right now and asking if people want a Starship Troopers video explaining why the bugs are a bunch of commies. The post got a lot of likes, so I'm working on that one at the moment. But criticizing your fellow content creators in an attempt to create drama is not a great method for growing a channel. I'll give the audience a few moments to laugh because I would say well over 90% of my audience is thinking some version of tell me you've not been on YouTube for very long without telling me you've not been on YouTube for very long, or what planet do you live on? With all due respect, which is none by the way, considering your apparent either youthful inexperience of the platform or perhaps dim-wittedness when it comes to the comment, I don't know really, I would avoid making judgment claims over here, especially when they can be debunked empirically. If you go to my main page, right, this is what you're greeted with, or some variation of this. If you scroll down here, yeah, and you click on where it says popular, you'll see this. Now, if you ignore the shorter slapstick-style videos and you looked at the longer commentary videos, of the top 8 there, 6 of them involve other content creators. Now, not counting this video, I have 817 videos, 21,918 subs. Those 6 videos alone have given me 3,316 subs. 6 videos, 3,316 out of 21,918 subs. 817 videos, that's 0.73% of content, has delivered over 15% of the entire channel's sub count growth. So no, you're wrong, I can objectively measure it, and if you think I'm pulling those numbers out of my ass, ask yourself one question: why would I lie? How did those videos become popular in the first place, and why would I keep making them if they didn't drive growth? The Starship Troopers one I did yesterday already has over 21,000 views, and it's not even 24 hours yet. Nor is it trying to start some kind of drama. This is not high school, this is the internet, this is fun. Like V said to Just Some Guy, it's entertainment, we enjoy it. I don't mind people trying to attack or criticize my positions, I like watching people suck and face planting, it's amusing. Speaking of that, this wasn't even on yesterday's video, this was on the original Just Some Guy video I did like 6 damn months ago, but this person wrote such an annoying comment, I intend to ridicule them. Never, ever write a comment like this. Do you see this, chat? Do you see this madness? Just quoting without, how the fuck would I or anyone else know what you're talking about without reference or the context here? When the video is, what, 6 months old? Like, where is your consideration? You made me do unnecessary work, and for that you must be punished. You're off to a great start. I feel like they're mocking me at this point. I'm glad you recognize your hypocrisy. Okay, so the reference here is me saying, make an argument first before you insult someone. Meanwhile, the title of the video is Just Some Guy is One Colossal Moron. Now, in fairness to me, despite the fact that I can recognize my own hypocrisy here, my job is responding to his colossal moronic self. He will speak first, so I don't need to prove he is a moron, because he will do that himself. I'm just here to fill in the whimsical. Otherwise, your job when critiquing someone is to win over the audience, not the person you're arguing with. Their mind is a brick either way, they won't change. This is not how minds work, if their mind works at all. So make your case, win the credibility with the audience, and then you can go for the jugular, like a wild jaguar, and detach from any facet of objective reality. There's been a lot of that going around in recent history, recent being the last 5,000 years or so. I'm not sure I agree with that. It seems a tad hyperbolic. So let's play around with that bit, shall we? My claim was leftists are completely detached from objective reality. I don't think that's an unfair assessment. They think sex has no basis in biological reality, but believe that without giving the government more money, the weather will kill us all the while claiming to follow the science. Like lemmings off a cliff. That's not a political ideology, that's a straight-up cult. Last 5,000 years, you say. Well, you need objective reality to do, well, frankly, anything, really. Building, engineering, adhere to the laws of physics, gravity, etc., to construct, well, Western civilization, in short. If there's a lot of that going around for 5,000 years, does that mean that for the past 50 centuries, the only people that are objectively capable of being useful are right-wing. I'm just taking this to its logical conclusion, so does that mean that those aren't should be dealt with? Pretty sure we were looking at this thinking, I fail to see the problem here. Even for me, that might be a bit much. But one trouble with calling out hive minds is that there is more than one hive. Okay, true, but that doesn't make any sense for me to attack the ones that aren't relevant in this analysis. Bit of a strange comment, I'll admit. If you think your opposition consists entirely of delusional idiots and those who agree with you are rational and well-spoken, you're probably in an echo chamber. Okay, this is a fascinating statement, so let's examine it a little more closer, shall we? First off, I don't think my opposition consists entirely of delusional idiots. I know my opposition consists entirely of delusional idiots. And I feel fairly confident that the audience will agree with me on this. There's a reason why I can make bold statements like the left are entirely unhinged, and at no point in 3 years of being on YouTube has anyone ever said to me, you know, Spoon, you're being kind of hard on the left. Tens of thousands of comments, not once have I ever had a disagreement on that front. Like, why do you think that is? Because the left are objectively insane. Again, these idiots think the state must intervene to stop the weather. Every night they sleep, they're haunted by nightmares featuring the wrath of Mother Gaia. Which brings me to the comment on the echo chamber. Do we have objective facts about the world around us, the nature of human beings, morally good and bad, right and wrong? Yes, we do. So think of my echo chamber as an exclusive club, you see. Its entry is limited to those who don't think that kind of stupid shit, like gatekeeping, really. So what exactly do I gain by leaving this so-called echo chamber? Will I be met with a wealth of knowledge? Will I stumble upon some old secret, some mystical power that will fill me with the wisdom of the ancients? No, it won't. I'll find a bunch of cretins who suffer a mental breakdown if the wrong vibration of sound enters their ears. I don't buy this stupid democratic notion of needing to find the middle ground. No. I believe the vast majority of humanity are far too dull and stupid to ever be consulted for any political opinions whatsoever. Why? Because I'm an elitist. And you can't even classify me as high-mind conceited either, because I'm a monarchist. I have no problem giving my power away to someone far better equipped to handle the task of ruling. I am much more of the King Louis XIV ultima ratio regum argument kind of a man, the last argument of kings. I much prefer hard power, personally. Much like you said there's more than one kind of a hive mind, there's also more than one kind of echo chamber. They aren't all equal. Some are smoke-filled lounges with fine collections of books, and others are insane asylums filled with fucking lunatics. Which is fucking cringe, kid. Well, I don't know if he is looking for enemies, but he does have them. Of course, if you speak on controversial topics and become prominent enough, you will have them. Yeah, those aren't enemies either. Again, that's cringe. You're on the internet flinging digital fecal matter at one another. You're not affecting real change, this is entertainment. If just some guy has people that are legitimately angered to the point of wishing to harm him kind of angry, they'll be on the left. And even then, what the hell does that mean in a functional way? Oh, I consider you my enemy. No, you don't. That's sad and stupid. Sit down and shut up. He claims to annoy both the left and the right. I've not seen that, personally, nor will I take his word for it. He does not seem like an honest sort of character. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw his avatar. No one on the right, or frankly anyone further to the right of Mao, thinks of just some guy in this kind of manner. Let me show you meme form how just some guy looks at the right and how it looks back. It absolutely is this, and it's hilarious. No one considers you an enemy. Then this video should not exist. I find it difficult to impossible to find a motive for you to make this video other than considering him an enemy. Okay, perhaps you didn't see my last video. You really should. It's really good. I explained it like this. My first interaction with any of his content wasn't even directly him. It was someone who claimed he owned V in a video after he said V is pushing the fascism via a tweet where he said, the left believes in equality, yet the right believes in quality. I just wanted to poke fun at it because his take was asinine. That's all there is to it. Prior to this, I'd never even seen a single video he's made. I didn't even know who the hell the guy even was. How could I consider him an enemy? I known him for all of 50 seconds. If you don't see him as an enemy, there should be a whole lot of who cares. Again, no one. We were chasing the bukkake of likes because we're entertainers. Stop taking it so seriously. Now there are hardcore conservators that will not tolerate dissent. Frickin' wish there was. And he would be blowing that up out of proportion. But again, you made this video. Oh, sweet mother of Moses. V, can you please help me here?
I don't deem you the enemy. I'm an entertainer. Alright? Like, if I see you on the street, I buy you beer. It's what manly men do. I do not believe that people on the internet are my enemy. I don't do this, okay? I talk about movies and video games. What enemy? Like, we are not fighting a bat. This is not a war. I do not have generals and officers. What I do have is entertainment and ideas.
Thank you, V. Anything else you want to add?
The bukkake of likes must flow. It is social media. We are content creators. If I do not want clout, then what am I doing there to begin with? When you get clout, the algorithm loves you. When the algorithm loves you, it shares your videos. When it shares your videos, more people are aware of your takes. Which is literally why we're doing this. Because otherwise we could just sit in our room alone and talk to ourselves. So this is why the bukkake of likes is very important to me. Extremely so. You can mention this on your next video. V enjoys the bukkake of likes.
Ah, see, thank you, V. See, this is why V is such a good friend. He's always very helpful. Again, no one considers Just Some Guy some kind of a foe. He's just kind of a dork, really. He is, not to sound too punny here, just some guy. I am also just some guy, just with a much higher political IQ and a better accent. I don't think of him as some kind of an enemy. I do think he's actually stupid, though. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, I mean that in an objective way. In a manner that I find weird yet also kind of curious. He does things that make me go, why would you do that? Like his political opinions, especially online. You have to be so far up your own ass in condescending smug to say the stuff he does, it borders on the surreal. I mean, his fall from grace has culminated in this weird space where every time he speaks on something vaguely political, he may as well be strapping a flashing neon kick me sign on his ass. So when he does it repeatedly, my brain is going, what exactly do you get out of being this insufferably stupid? Again, it's kind of curious. What is the tangible thing that you get from doing this over and over again? Is it ideological conformity? If your ideology requires you to debase yourself repeatedly, then you should probably have your head examined. A good example is when he had to go with V. He quote-tweeted V, which was a cowardly thing to do for one, and V pointed out they have an overlapping audience. And when someone messages you and says, did you see what Just Some Guy said about you? And you go, what did he say? Well, V is entitled to defend himself, and Just Some Guy stupidly decided to escalate it further by engaging with a video of his own. Again, why? What do you gain out of this exchange? You can barely string a sentence together, kid. You know nothing about politics, and you're going to try and go mano a mano with a political content creator from Eastern Europe who lived under the Iron Curtain on the subject of equality. I look at that and think, good lord, how many handicaps do you want in this match? Several hours later, and a few videos going back and forth, V was already declared the winner within 15 minutes of his first video, and I am laughing my ass off watching a hate crime in progress. V is beating a dead horse for well over an hour at this point. To call it Tyson versus a toddler is an understatement. I'm not saying this because I'm a friend of V. Go and watch his responses, they're still hilarious. V is far more entertaining because he's funnier, he treats it like a joke probably because he's dealing with an imbecile, and he's much more informed. Just Some Guy just comes across as trying very hard to be all big boy serious, but all he does is insult V. It is borderline impossible for him not to insult or strawman every time he talks, and yet he can't seem to understand he's getting owned to the moon. Becomes clear very quickly who's actually capable of engaging in the conversation and who's only interested in a pissing contest. Except the one side can only piss in their own face. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.